Hello my fellow oddities and welcome to a new video, and oh boy, unscripted video today. Lucky you guys, or maybe unlucky? I don't know. You guys like unscripted videos or scripted videos more? Let me know in the comments. But today, I'm here to talk about the news that, unless you're living under a rock, which, to be fair, a lot of you are, you've probably heard of. And that's the first look at the next live-action Mortal Kombat movie, Mortal Kombat 2, of course, the sequel to the highly controversial live-action Mortal Kombat 2021 movie. It's been too long since we talked about this Mortal Kombat cinematic universe, and finally, we have some major updates in the form of an Entertainment Weekly article with a bunch of information that we're going to read right here, right now, but also a bunch of images, which is the real juicy stuff. We want to see what the characters look like, new and old, and all that juicy, fun stuff. So let's get straight into it. We got face cam. Come on. Face cam for the first time in like how long in one of these videos? So yeah, let's just read here. Here's Johnny. Mortal Kombat 2 exclusive first look reveals Karl Urban's Johnny Cage, plus Kitana and Shao Kahn. Urban, Adeline Rudolph, and Martin Ford are ready to fight alongside returning cast members. And we got our first look here at Johnny Cage. Well, first look in the actual movie, not just the poster. And we also got some decent shots of Liu Kang, Ludi Lin, Makad Brooks, Jax, and Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade. Let's just start with them. Liu Kang seems to be wearing the same outfit he wore at the end of the first movie, but without the headband, which is a bit interesting. That was taken off of Kung Lao's hat, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe he's just not wearing it. Jax has a new design, but obviously this isn't like a new design. This is just like him in casual wear. He's probably going to wear the same general sort of thing. Sonya also appears to be wearing the same thing. It looks like she's wearing the black tank top and not the green one. So that's interesting, I guess. But of course, the main selling point here is Karl Urban as Johnny Cage. And I'm gonna be honest, guys. You guys know me. I was one of the big detractors of Karl Urban as Johnny Cage when his casting was first announced. I thought he was too old, and I stand by that somewhat. I think the longevity is a big problem if you're gonna have a Mortal Kombat cinematic universe with multiple movies. You can't have a 50-year-old actor playing Johnny Cage, or else you're just gonna get too old too quickly. So yeah, that's still going to be an issue. But every single time I've seen Karl Urban as Johnny Cage, he's looked better and better. At first, I think we got some set photos where I was like, still not sure. He had the blonde highlights and stuff, and I was still like, Then we got the first poster, which looked good, and then we got this image. This image screams Johnny Cage to me. I saw some people saying, I'm not really feeling it. When I look at this image, just the face, like, I feel like Johnny has done this face before so many times. But obviously the glasses, the outfit, the hand posing, like this feels like Johnny Cage. When I look at this, I'm like, that's Johnny, bro. And it's weird because I'm like, I shouldn't like this, but I do. And Karl Urban so far has proved me wrong. I mean, he looks great as the character. If we get into the article, let's actually just start reading it now. I heard some good stuff as well. So let's start. The ending of Mortal Kombat 2021's the ending of Mortal Kombat 2021 signaled where the franchise would go next. Hollywood, after a bloodbath between the champions of Earthrealm and Outworld, former MMA fighter Cole Young, a descendant of Hanzo Hasashi / Scorpion, set out for Los Angeles to find a new recruit to aid in the battle ahead, Johnny Cage. A prominent and eccentric character from the video games, as well as past movie adaptations, Johnny was only teased in that first film through a poster for his Citizen Cage flick, but now the Boys star Karl Urban officially takes his place alongside other Earthrealm champions in Entertainment Weekly's exclusive first look at the sequel Mortal Kombat 2, coming to theaters and IMAX locations on October 24th. Movie definitely could have come out earlier. I don't know why it has to be October. Like, this could have been a summer movie, I feel. Just saying. You finally get to see Johnny Cage. Ed Boon, Mortal Kombat co-creator and head of gaming developer NetherRealm Studios, tells Entertainment Weekly. His integration into the Mortal Kombat story and universe is a big part of what this movie explores. He's a washed-up Hollywood guy thrown into this magical, ultra-violent thing. Karl, his depiction of Johnny Cage is different than our games in some ways. He's adding his own flair to it, but I think it'll feel fresh. There's like a novelty factor in there. Just like Tan's Cole in the first Mortal Kombat, Boone says Johnny serves as the audience's lens into this new story. He calls the character's introduction ridiculously hilarious, having incited some of the biggest laughs from the early test screenings of Mortal Kombat 2, but director Simon McCoy felt it was a balancing act to strike that tone. We wanted a character that wasn't just completely silly comic book. It's a character that could instantly go there and become too light and throwaway if we were to lean too much into that kind of cringe. Cheese, he said. McCoy remarks, the casting of Carl Urban for that role allowed that character to have more depth. And I definitely get what he's saying here with Carl Urban. Let me actually go back here. I get what he's saying here. And the casting of Carl Urban in terms of acting prowess makes sense because Carl Urban can do comedy. A lot of actors can do comedy, but not a lot of actors can have that big emotional depth that they can bring to a character. And I think Carl Urban is an actor that can definitely do that. He is fairly highly esteemed. So a character or a actor like The Miz or something, which a lot of people were fan casting for Johnny Cage, he wouldn't have worked in that regard because I mean, I don't know for sure. I don't watch wrestling, so I don't know The Miz's. I don't know the extent of his acting, but I highly doubt he could bring as much emotional depth to the character as Carl Urban can. He would probably just be able to do the comedy, and I get what they're saying with the comedic stuff and the comic bookiness and slapstick because I've seen that in Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1, mostly Mortal Kombat 11. I don't like Johnny in those games because, Andrew Bowen, the voice actor, does a phenomenal job. And he did a phenomenal job in MKX, I think, as Johnny. I think he was one of the best characters in that game. But MK11, I think, was just too far, especially past Johnny. Was just too comedic, too slapsticky. And I'm glad that they're not going that deep into it. He's still going to have his funny moments, obviously. We saw Kano in the first film. They can do good, funny, comedic writing and stuff. So I'm excited to see Johnny and what he's going to bring to it. Apparently, I've heard good things from test screenings, and I'm hearing good things here. And I'm now cautiously optimistic about Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. The only worry is that longevity that I was talking about. I don't know how long he can do this for. So if we're going to have a cinematic universe, I don't want to keep him around if he's going to get like too old for the character. And then they're going to have to write around it, and that's going to be weird. One thing I did want to mention are the character designs not for Johnny, but for these other characters. I don't like how they are the same. I don't like how they're the same as the last movie, specifically with Liu Kang, but hold on. Also with Scorpion. This was the one that I was the most sort of disappointed about because Scorpion, the exact same design from the first movie. And guys, I think an integral part of Mortal Kombat is changing up the character designs with every single game, or I guess in this case, every single movie. I think you have to do that. Even Annihilation understood that and changed the designs. Like, obviously, a lot of movies just do that nowadays, especially like comic book movies and stuff. They just like switch up designs just for like selling toys. But I just feel like it's always been an integral part of Mortal Kombat since the very first game to the second game. Changes in designs, second game to the third game to the fourth. It just kept going, and it wasn't like to sell toys or anything. Or at least I don't think so. It was just that's how it was, and I loved that. It wasn't like other games where the characters kind of look the same throughout the whole series. I liked having these major switch ups, like MK9 to MKX, Scorpion. Huge change there. And I really, really love that aspect of the series. I wouldn't have 3/4 of my subscribers if it wasn't for that part of the series. So the fact that they're not going to switch it up, it's not that these designs are bad or anything. It's just I don't want it to be the exact same thing every single time. So yeah, that's disappointing. But of course, the design looks good. Scorpion looks good. Hiroyuki Sanada, Emmy winner playing Scorpion we have here. Never thought I'd be able to say that, but we have a literal Emmy winner playing Scorpion, and I love it. Perfect casting. I just wish the designs were different. Just a little bit of a switch up. Just some cool things you can mess around with, but it is what it is. It is what it is, I guess. But who does get new designs are the new characters introduced in this movie, and we have another one right here with Kitana. Kitana. This design has been one that's been very controversial. I've seen on Twitter and stuff. A lot of people don't like it, and I am one of those people. I don't think this design really works, and it's not horrendous or anything. Like, I can see what they're going for. It's very MK11 inspired. I think even that silver thing she has on like her neck, like it's a neck brace or something, and the hair is very similar to MK11, and just the overall outfit, like with the pants and stuff and the kind of armor she has. It's very MK11 inspired and with the silver, but it just feels like kind of a mess. I don't know. First thing that kind of stands out is the weird web pattern on her like stomach area. I don't know what that's about. I think it's supposed to look like her fans because if you look, it's kind of the same pattern or design or whatever, but it just ends up looking like webs. It makes her look like a spider Sona. And also my other problem, the blue on this is actually pretty decent. Like if it was all that color, it would look pretty great, but there's just too much silver, and the silver is so much brighter than the blue. It just uh, takes so much attraction away from it. You can obviously tell it's Kitana. I mean, she has the fans and stuff. And it is blue. You can tell it's blue. It's not like Melina's design from this universe where it's just like, if I didn't see the size, if I didn't see the mouth, I wouldn't even know this is Melina. So that's good. It's better than that design, and it's not terrible. It's not even bad. I just don't really like it, if that makes sense. Like, it just looks a bit odd. We also need to see it with a mask. We also do need to see it in motion. A lot of the times, these designs can look bad in like this one still or something, but then in motion, it actually looks pretty good. Mostly because you can just like kind of forget, and you don't focus on the individual details as much as you do in just a static image. So, maybe it could look better. But I guess we'll see. We'll have to wait till a trailer or something comes out for that. And by the way, guys, Kitana is considered, along with Johnny, one of the main characters of the movie from test screenings. That's not a spoiler or anything. I mean, if she's one of the main characters, that just is what it is. It wasn't a spoiler when Cole Young was one of the main characters in the first movie. So, yeah, she's one of the main characters, and, I don't mind her being the main character of a Mortal Kombat movie. I just wish Liu Kang got his time to shine first. But anyways, let's get back to reading, I guess. We all always love that. Johnny isn't the only new character on the scene either. Joining Mortal Kombat veterans like Ludi Lin as Liu Kang, Makad Brooks as Jax Briggs, Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade, Todd Nuosawa as Lord Raiden, Joe Taslim as Scorpion, or Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero. Interesting that they say Sub-Zero and not Noob Saibot, and just some of the other cast members. Entertainment Weekly can also reveal, they're not revealing it because we already knew this, Adeline Rudolph as fan favorite character Kitana, as well as Martin Ford as Outworld Overlord Shao Kahn. As an added treat for gamers, new movie-accurate skins of these characters, including Urban's Johnny, Rudolph's Kitana, and Ford's Shao Kahn, are coming to the Mortal Kombat 1 video game later this year. Very excited about that. We have the images of what they're going to look like in Mortal Kombat 1, which we're going to look at right after we look at this last paragraph here. In the movie, these figures are all here for the main event, the one fans have been waiting for to see realized on screen. The first film saw the Outworld sorcerer Shang Tsung Chin Han and his forces attempt to wipe out Earth's champions before the big Mortal Kombat tournament between fighters from different realms. That tournament is now officially here in the sequel. Tournament is confirmed, official, no weird pre-tournament stuff. We have the tournament, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If Earthrealm loses its 10th consecutive tournament against Outworld, then Shao Kahn invade and take over. Speaking of Shao Kahn, here we go. The biggest sort of thing that people have taken away, whether it's good or bad, Shao Kahn's design. And we're going to get a better look at it from the Mortal Kombat 1 game, which obviously doesn't fully represent what it's going to look like in the movie, because obviously a lot of proportional stuff changes, but God, look at this design. I am a fan, all right? It is intimidating. It is scary. That's what I care about. Some people have been saying, oh, he's too dark or whatever. You can see some color. Like, I can tell the little horns he has is kind of a different color from the rest of it. But, it is mostly kind of a blackish color. But I honestly don't mind that. I think, like, it makes him look so intimidating, so cool. Someone called it a samurai Darth Vader look, which I just think is awesome. He has a jaw this time around. Usually Shao Kahn doesn't have the jaw. And actually, if you kind of cover the jaw with your hand, it does kind of look like the MK9 mask to me. I don't know. It looks like maybe a mix of the MK9 mask and the MK11 one. But I dig it. I personally dig it. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of it, especially that jaw piece, but I'm a fan. He just looks too cool. I'm sorry. Like, some people are like, over-designed and stuff, and I can be that person sometimes, but sometimes you just gotta admit something looks cool, and look, this looks cool. I love this design. Okay, maybe love is a bit extreme. We have to see the rest of the design, which we do see in Mortal Kombat 1, but it's a bit, like, we don't know if it's gonna look like that in the actual movie, but I'm loving it. And yeah, Shao Kahn will be the main villain of the movie, which I'm a bit about, again, it's sort of the same thing with Kitana. I don't mind Shao Kahn being the main villain, obviously, but it's just I wish Shang Tsung had his time to shine, because I feel like Chin Han can do a lot with that role, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like he's going to be in this one too much. But Mortal Kombat 1, let's get to that. I don't want to move too far away since we do have some more stuff to cover with the Mortal Kombat 2 sequel, so let's not get too carried away talking about the games, but shout out to the Thinny. Look at this, man. Look at this. Doesn't that look fire? Like, okay, obviously it's Kuai Liang, which makes it kind of like, what the heck? You can see people talking about it on the right there. And he doesn't have the white eyes, which is kind of annoying. But this design, I can't understand how people don't like this Scorpion design. Like, there are some people, obviously I don't think it's the majority. I really like this design. It looks awesome. It's a bit weird. It is Kuai Liang, and it doesn't even look like Hanzo or Hiroyuki Sanada at all. We're not going to get the face models or the voice actors probably for these skins, which kind of sucks. We did get the voice actors and the likenesses for the 1995 movie. For whatever reason, we're not getting them for this movie. I don't really know why. I feel like it would be easier to get the current actors who are currently in contract with WB. I don't know. But let's look at the next one. Johnny Cage, not much to really talk about here. It's just, it looks a bit weird in MK1 because it's obviously a movie design that's supposed to be in the movie, and it looks kind of weird because it's just plain. I don't know. Next, Kitana. I do like it better in the game. Maybe just because of the mask. I don't think this mask is actually going to be in the movie though. You guys might be saying, what the heck, are you crazy? She has to have a mask. She's Kitana. Look at the way it doesn't connect to the rest of her neck. Like the mask just kind of floats on her face. There's no way that's how it is in the movie. Like, masks don't just do that. So that makes me think she just might not have a mask, or else it would be connected. I mean, maybe it's not connected just because MK1 has its gear system and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, you can see it's kind of a different texture and shade of blue from the rest of it. You can also see that it's not a bun that she has. It's a ponytail. So if we go back, which image was it? This one. I guess that's not actually a bun, but maybe a ponytail. I mean, is that hair in the back? Or is that just the background? I don't know. But yeah, it looks like it's a ponytail. I like the design of the fans, though. That's pretty cool. And the blue looks much better here. It's not as outdone by the silver as it is on this design. But the final one, Shao Kahn. Here's what the rest of his body looks like. Again, it looks a bit weird with MK1. I don't know if the proportions are right, but the rest of the design, I think, looks pretty decent. I think the lighting is going to be a lot better in the actual movie because right here, it kind of looks out of place. I don't know, the mask and the rest of the body. But I feel like in the actual movie, when the lighting is more like this, it'll all kind of blend together much better. But as far as just the design itself, ignore the lighting and the shading and the colors and all that. Also, you can tell that little horns thing is a different color from the rest of the mask. I knew it. I called it. Yeah, as far as just the design goes, it looks good. I mean, this is what you can probably expect from a movie Shao Kahn. You can't expect MK11 level of detail because then he would just have to be CGI. One thing I do find a bit weird, why is his hammer flat? I hope it's not like that in the movie. That would be really, really strange. But yeah, I dig this Shao Kahn design. But let's get back into the Mortal Kombat 2 movie and read the rest of this article. They keep score throughout the movie, Boone reveals of the tournament. There is a visual representation of who is winning. It's not just a tournament for the sake of a tournament. There are huge consequences, so you really are keeping score, and there are lots of twists on it that keep you on your toes. I want to switch back here for this one. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Mortal Kombat, it's never really had a clear bracket. It's never really had a clear system of how the tournament works. How do you progress? What does winning a fight mean? What does it mean to be close to being at the end? It doesn't really make sense because you can't have a tournament with two opposing teams. Logically, it doesn't really make sense because a tournament is just supposed to be everyone for everyone. And that made sense in the first game where everyone was just from Earthrealm. But as time has gone on and it's been clear, okay, these are opposing teams going against each other. How is that a tournament? I don't really think that's how that works because a tournament they get smaller and smaller. So like, what if there's okay? Think about it like this: there's 8 Earthrealmers, 8 Outworlders. They fight. What if like 2 Earthrealmers body everyone, and it's just two Earthrealmers left? Like, would that really make sense? Like, if there's 2 Earthrealmers and then there's Goro, who fights Goro? Like, does Goro choose? Do they choose? Like, it doesn't really make sense because tournaments aren't meant to be team based. So I'm interested to see how they're gonna capture that. If they're gonna capture, I mean, it seems like from what they're saying, they are going to at least try to, which might bring up some issues. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Maybe it's just how it is in Scorpion's Revenge, where it's just kind of a battle royale and they all just fight each other, and whoever gets to Goro first is the one who fights him. We didn't really get to see much of how the tournament bracket works in the 1995 movie. So yeah, I'm interested to see how they're gonna tackle that, but I'm just excited to see the tournament. I think we all are just excited to see that tournament. Let's continue on reading though. Speaking of twists, on the cast list confirmed for Mortal Kombat 2, which also includes Damon Harriman as NetherRealm Demon Quan Chi, are the returning Josh Lawson and Max Huang. Even though their characters, Kano and Kung Lao, died in the previous movie, I can say Josh Lawson doesn't play Kano's twin, Boone teases. He points to existing Mortal Kombat lore from the video games that makes it possible for such a comeback. We've killed a number of characters who are in Mortal Kombat 1 in our latest games, he says, so we deal with the spirits in the NetherRealm and things like that. There are ways to bring dead characters back. The ages-long beef between Scorpion and Sub-Zero also refuses to die in Mortal Kombat 2, though it won't be as central to the narrative. He's certainly making appearances that are significant and necessary for the progress of other storylines. Boone prefaces of Sonata's Hanzo Osashi. He plays a different role. He's not part of the Super Friends trying to defeat Shao Kahn, but his appearance is key and very essential for certain parts. That is interesting. That Scorpion is not going to be part of the main sort of storyline. So what is he going to be doing? Because I have a feeling Cole Young's not going to be in this movie very much. Just a feeling. So without him, Scorpion doesn't really have any ties to what's going on. So it makes sense why he wouldn't have as big a role. But what role does he play? Like, there's got to be some sort of sub storyline that we're not, that we just don't know yet. Probably has something to do with the earlier mentioned Quan Chi. Maybe that's why they mentioned him. Like, there's other cast members confirmed that they just didn't mention. I think they did mention Sindel, right? I don't know. I must have skipped over that part. They do mention Sindel, I think. So maybe it has something to do with Quan Chi. Maybe they're setting up something with Shinnok. They do say they're going to multiple realms in this movie. I don't know. Did I already talk about that, or does it say later on? Yeah, it says some of that story involves the story itself. We go to lots of different realms. So that's interesting. If we're going to lots of different realms, I mean, we're going to spend time in the other realm, as you can see from this image right here. I doubt we're going to go to the Chaos Realm or the Order Realm. Maybe Edenia. Probably Edenia. I think that's like the opening scene, actually, is Edenia. So, yeah, that's interesting. I think he's going to have something to do with Quan Chi. This Scorpion doesn't seem to be the lackey of Quan Chi that the newer adaptation of Scorpion seems to be. So I don't know if it's going to be that connected to him. But yeah, they're probably setting up something with Shinnok in a third, maybe fourth movie. I don't know. They might do the invasion after this one, so they might have Shao Kahn return as the villain for a third movie. Maybe Shinnok can come around, do something. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But I'm very interested to see what role Scorpion plays without Cole Young as big of a character, because that's kind of the whole reason Scorpion existed in the first one. Well, so not the reason he existed. The reason he existed was because he's a poster boy. But I mean within the story. But yeah, let's just read the rest of this. All these facets relate to the clear goals McCoy had coming into the making of the sequel. For one, the team wanted to increase the number of female characters. So alongside McNamee's Sonya Blade and Rudolph's Katana, there's also Tati Gabriel from the last season 2 as Jade, which I haven't heard good things about. Anna Thu, I'm not going to say the last name, sorry, as Queen Sindel. So that's where they mentioned it. I just hadn't got to the part yet. And some undisclosed other characters who will make appearances. We will be seeing Baraka in this movie. I don't know if there's any other characters. I mean, there's Noob Saibot, but I think they kind of already mentioned him. I don't know. They said he was Sub-Zero. I don't know. It's weird. The filmmaker says McCoy and screenwriter Jeremy Slater also work to maximize everything with Mortal Kombat 2. Just build on where we were and make it significantly more intense, bigger in scale, bigger in variation, bigger across the board, really as a cinematic experience. Some of that involves the story itself. McCoy confirms. This is the part we read earlier. McCoy different realms, stuff like that. Very distinct and very visual approach. I like that. Some of it involves IMAX, which McCoy says allowed them to be bolder and swing harder. The team took advantage of the big screen format to offer audiences a unique experience when they watch Mortal Kombat 2 in IMAX, namely changing aspect ratios to enhance certain sequences. What I realized was go bigger, go bolder, don't hold back, and really feed off the history of Mortal Kombat. More, McCoy adds, just let it rip, and that's what we've done. Nice. Overall, I like this is a big step up. Not that I was like super like, oh, this movie's gonna suck, but you know, a year or two ago I wasn't that enthusiastic when the castings came out. But I really like what I heard from this article. That's all I really wanted to cover for today. I mean, we went through the whole article, talking about the images and stuff, talking about Mortal Kombat 1. Those skins will be coming out, I think, around the time the movie comes out. So very excited for this movie. Obviously things I'm cautious about. I have seen the test screening leaks, so there are things within the story that are spoilers that I'm not going to talk about, but some things that I was concerned with, but I think reshoots have happened and other stuff has been edited down and stuff, so who knows what's going to go on with that. I'm really liking what I saw from this article. It seems like the general consensus has been pretty positive to this article. So yeah, that's a big step up from the first movie. I feel like straight off the bat, there were some people who were just like not a fan, and that kind of bled over into when the movie came out. But you know, if we as a Mortal Kombat fan base can group around something for once, because Mortal Kombat 1 has not been able to do that, I feel like this movie could be something very special if they do it right. And that's a big if, because we haven't had a Mortal Kombat movie that gets it just perfect yet. Like, we have had Mortal Kombat movies that get some of it perfect and then just kind of fall off, like 1995 and 2021. We've had just absolute stink piles like Annihilation and Battle of the Realms. So I hope it's not one of those and it's just like the perfect Mortal Kombat movie that we've all been waiting for. And the stuff I've seen, it looks promising and I like it. So keep your hopes up. Let's put all the good energy we can into this being a good movie. And yeah, you guys let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the Mortal Kombat 2 first look. And while you're down there, make sure to check out the links in the description to my merch store, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, make sure to give this video a like to show your support, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to know when I next upload a new video. And with that being said, that's it for this video, my fellow oddities. I'll see you next time.